industry people. We've got some Ulay of that. This is Diddy as we knew him before this scandal erupted. It was actually just before the video got leaked as well to CNN of him beating up his then girlfriend at the time. Are you as stunned as everybody else, choke no joke, about what's happened here to Diddy?
That people are very interested into what do you have on video and what do you have as by way of evidence. And ultimately, in these kinds of cases, it ultimately comes down to he said, she said. That's it every single time, or he said, he said. And so the most important thing is the credibility of the victim. And typically, in these cases, the defense is always the same. When you bring these kinds of allegations against someone, the first defense is always attack the victim.
And I think we actually need to look at the households that produce a lot of these predators, a lot of these serial rapists and sexual assaulters, than just looking at them as individuals who've decided to go rogue. It's much more systemic than that.
Mike check. Piers Morgan having a parade of niggas. It look like a goddamn slave auction coming through his show these days. Choke no joke on Piers Morgan. Here we go. Hello, Choke.
Well, joining me now is the producer, director, and hip-hop documentarian, Choke No Joke. Let me bring in Choke No Joke. Now, you were part of Diddy's entourage at a commercial event a year ago where he was welcomed like a king by fans and industry people. We've got some Ulay of that. This is Diddy as we knew him before this scandal erupted. It was actually just before the video got leaked as well to CNN of him beating up his then girlfriend at the time. Are you as stunned as everybody else, choke no joke, about what's happened here to Diddy?
First of all, let me say hello to you, Piers.
That's what we came here for. Choke no joke. I don't know that other lady. I don't know what they was talking about.
Morgan. I am surprised at a lot of the allegations, but I want to correct you. I wasn't a part of his entourage. I was there independently, documenting as I do, and
I see. Yeah.
I know him from the past, so. Yeah, I was there to document the revolt.
But you have attended, unless I'm mistaken, you have attended these freak-off parties at the invitation of Diddy on occasion. And there was one party, you said, where Diddy tried to come on to you and looked at him like he was Beyonce in a bikini, you said. You were invited by Diddy personally at an industry after party. You said there were also women there who were known in industry to be gay and so on. I mean, just... When you say you're not shocked by some of this...
Let me clear that up because you mashing a bunch of stuff together. All right, one, it wasn't a freak-off party. It may have been. I'm not sure because I didn't go inside. But I wasn't invited by him. I was actually with Little Kim and Hillary Weston, who was Little Kim's manager at the time. And we went to the BET Awards, and then we went to an after party. At the after party is when Diddy or Sean Combs invited Kim to meet us at the CEO, Steve Rifkin's house.
You're doing a lot of explaining.
When we went to Steve Rifkin's house, which would be the after party, I was at that house that's where Diddy came on to me at.
That's the freak off, ain't it?
And there was a lot of people that...
The after party's the freak off, ain't it? Or is it another one? It's after. God damn. Y'all do a lot of partying, man.
I was on the outside, the back porch of the house. I never went inside.
Okay.
So whatever went on inside, I didn't get to see.
And when you say Diddy...
But he did come on to me.
Yeah, I mean, to tell...
So he left you on the porch. So you couldn't come in unless you let him do something to you. That's messed up.
About that, I mean, what happened?
As far as what?
Him coming on to you.
Right, what'd he do?
He just made a pass at me, and I denied it, all with looks. And
Piers wants specifics. What did he do? Did he rub you down? Did he rub your shoulders? Did he jack you? What happened?
That was it.
How did you respond?
Nigga, Piers trying to be thorough. How did you respond?
Well, that wasn't it. Once I realized that he was hitting on me and I looked at my environment and realized that most of the people there were gay or bisexual, then I caught on to where we were at And I say one thing in regards to your last guest that was saying that his mother's in denial. I don't think that's a fair statement for her to say, and I don't like the fact that she said he was raised in a household with a mother and father and blah, 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 because I'm a guy that grew up in the projects. My mother always made sure I did right. My father always made sure I did right. But when I got on outside of the door of the other threshold, the streets told me different. And I did a lot of things that my mother couldn't even fathom today that I did. So when she says that, you know, his mother's in denial or she may be part of the reason for his behavior, a lot of our behavior comes from being in the street and
Hold on, I think
you misunderstood
and I don't think
that was a fair statement.
I think you misunderstood what I was saying. First of all, of course, individuals are responsible for their own actions, but individuals are not dug up from the ground or hatched from eggs. They're raised in homes. They're raised with values and cultures. I'm not blaming his mother in any way, shape, or form, but any parent whose child is accused of these sorts of crimes will undoubtedly just reflect and think, is there anything that I could have done? That's all I was insinuating. And also, she is in denial because we've all seen that Cassie video. Someone who is capable of treating Cassie like that, dragging her around like a rag doll. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be shocked when allegations of this kind come forward.
You know, I can't pretend that I'm massively shocked that the hip hop world is full of guys behaving badly and displaying, at the very, very least, rampant misogyny. I mean, the lyrics are full of it. So there's been a kind of brazen celebration of misogyny for a long time in the hip hop world. Is it really shocking that Diddy and potentially other big names in the hip hop world have been, you know, holding out the carrot of record contracts and stuff and using their fame and money to drug and abuse people?
Well, for me, you know, I've been in hip hop for 30 years, even before I was born. You know, I have a documentary out called The Hip Hop Nucleus, a documentary on the tunnel, which is out right now. But that, I've been in the club since Diddy was performing at the tunnel. I've been shooting him before he was a millionaire. So I've seen all these guys come from nothing and go to millionaires, to multimillionaires, to billionaires, allegedly, right? But throughout my travels in the industry, once I got to a certain point, like BET, I started to notice a different change in the industry where it was more of gatekeepers and, you know, I had to succumb to homosexuality. There's drugs being passed around. And, you know, I don't do these type of things. You know, my mother's a recovering addict over 30 years, so I would never do drugs. But yes, these things are a part of the culture. And the sexuality is a part of the culture. And if you don't succumb to it, like myself, my career suffered because I didn't succumb to homosexuality or the drugs.
I mean, Esther, it's, you know, like I say, I can't pretend I'm massively shocked. It is shocking to see all the scale of it.
Yeah.
But am I shocked that top hip hop stars, you know, were having pretty awful parties where they did pretty awful?
Piers might have been at a party. Allegedly. I don't know. But he's famous enough. Don't cut his dick off, dog.